All right, hello again, friends. I'm gonna get right into this. So, where we last left off, nobody would talk to Jack. There was a quote unquote war because he had punched Julian in the face, and Julian was basically trying to turn everyone against him. So, where we last left off, he was looking for a place to sit, and he was gonna leave the lunchroom, and Augie and Summer waved him over. Kind of shows you what good people they are. So let's get into the story. Okay, I'm a total hypocrite. I know. The very first day at school, I remember seeing August in the cafeteria. Everybody was looking at him, talking about him. Back then, no one was used to his face or even knew that he was coming to Beecher, so it was a total shocker for most of the kids to see him on the first day of school. Most kids were even afraid to get near him. So when I saw him in the cafeteria ahead of me, I knew he'd have no one to sit with, but I just couldn't bring myself to sit with him. I'd been hanging out with him all morning long because we had so many classes together, and I guess I was just kind of wanting a little more normal time to chill with other kids. So when I saw him move to a table on the other side of the lunch counter, I purposely found a table as far away from him as I could. Sat down with Isaiah and Luca even though I'd never met them before. We talked about baseball the whole time, and I played basketball with them at recess. They became my lunch table from then on. I heard Summer had sat down with August, which kind of surprised me, because I knew for a fact she wasn't one of the kids that Tushman had talked to about being friends with Augie. So I knew she was doing it just to be nice. And that was pretty brave, I thought. So now here I was sitting with Summer and August, and they were being totally nice to me as always. I filled them in about everything Charlotte had told me except for the whole big about me having snapped under the pressure of being August's friend, or the part about Julian's mom saying Augie had special needs, or the part about them trying to get him in and out of the school. I guess all I really told them was about how Julian had a holiday party and managed to turn the whole grade against me. It just feels so weird, I said, to not have people talking to you, pretending like you don't even exist. Augie started smiling. You think, he said sarcastically? Welcome to my world. So here are the official sides, Summer said at lunch the next day. She pulled out a folded piece of loose leaf paper and opened it. It had 3 columns. Jack's side, Jack, August, Reed, Max G, Max W. Julian's side, Miles, Henry, Amos, Simon, Tristan, Pablo, Nino, Isaiah, Luca, Jake, Tolan, Roman, Ben, Emmanuel, Zeke, Tommaso. Neutrals, Malik, Ramo, Jose, Leaf, Ram, Ivan, and Russell. Where did you get this? Said Augie, looking over my shoulder as I read the list. Charlotte made it, Summer answered quickly. She gave it to me last period. She thought you should know who was on your side, Jack. Yeah, not many people, that's for sure, I said. Rita's, she said, and the 2 Maxes. Great, the nerds are on my side. Don't be mean, said Summer. I think Charlotte likes you, by the way. Yeah, I know. Are you going to ask her out? Are you kidding? I can't now that everybody's acting like I have the plague. The second I said it, I realized I shouldn't have said it. There was this awkward moment of silence, and I looked at Augie. It's okay, he said. I knew about that. Sorry, dude. I didn't know they called it the plague, though, he said. I figured it was more like the cheese touch or something. Oh, yeah, like in Diary of a Wimpy Kid? The plague actually sounds cooler, he joked, like someone could catch the Black Death of ugliness. As he said this, he made air quotes. I think it's awful, said Summer, but Augie shrugged while taking a big sip of his juice box. Anyway, I'm not asking Charlotte out, I said. My mom thinks we're all too young to be dating anyway, Summer answered. What if Reed asked you out, I said. Would you go? I could tell she was surprised. No, she said. I'm just asking, I laughed. She shook her head and smiled. Why? What do you know? Nothing, I'm just asking, I said. I actually agree with my mom, she said. I don't think we're too young. I think we do think we're too young to be dating. I mean, I don't see what the rush is. Yeah, I agree, said August, which is a shame, with all these girls who keep wanting to date me and stuff. He said this in such a funny way that I think the milk I was drinking came out of my nose when I laughed, which made us all totally crack up. It was the middle of January and we still hadn't even chosen a science fair project we were going to work on. I guess I kept putting it off because I didn't want to do it. Finally, August was like, dude, we have to do this. So we went to his house after school. I was really nervous because I didn't know if August had ever told his parents about what we now call the Halloween incident. Turns out the dad wasn't even home and the mom was out running errands. I'm pretty sure from 2 seconds I'd spent talking to her, though, that Augie had never mentioned a thing about it. She was super cool and friendly towards me. When I first walked into Augie's room, I was like, whoa, you have a serious Star Wars addiction. He had so many Star Wars miniatures everywhere. I know, he laughed. He sat down on a rolling chair next to his desk, and I plopped down on a beanbag chair in the corner. That's when his dog waddled into the room right up to me. Hey, he was on your holiday card, I said, letting him sniff my hand. She, he corrected. Daisy, you can pet her. She doesn't bite. When I started petting, she basically rolled over under her back. She wants you to rub her tummy, said August. Okay, this is the cutest dog I've ever seen, I said, rubbing her stomach. I know, right? She's the best dog in the world, aren't you, girly? As soon as she heard Augie's voice say that, the dog started wagging her tail and went over to him. Who's my little girly? Who's my little girly? August was saying as she licked him all over the face. I wish I had a dog. My parents think our apartment's too small. I started looking around at the stuff in his room, and while he turned on his computer, hey, you've got an Xbox 360, can we play? Dude, we're here to work on the science fair project. Do you have Halo? Of course I have Halo. Please, can we play? He had logged onto the Beecher website and was now scrolling down Miss Rubin's teacher page through the list of science fair projects. Can you see from there, he said. I sighed and went to sit in a little stool that was right next to him. Cool iMac, I said. What kind of computer do you have? Dude, I don't even have my own room, much less my own computer. My parents have this ancient Dell that's practically dead. Okay, how about this one, he said, turning the screen in my direction so I would look. I made a quick scan of the screen and my eyes literally started blurring. We could make a sun clock. That sounds kind of cool. Can't we just make a volcano? I said. Everyone makes a volcano. Duh, because it's easy. What about how to make crystal spikes out of Epsom salts? Sounds boring. So why'd you call her Daisy? He didn't look up from the screen. My sister named her. I wanted to call her Darth. Actually, technically speaking, her full name is Darth Daisy, but we never really call her that. Darth Daisy. That's funny. Hi, Darth Daisy, I said to the dog, who rolled over under her back again for me to rub her tummy. Okay, this is the one, said August, pointing to a picture on the screen of a bunch of potatoes with wires poking out of him. How to build an organic battery made of potatoes. Now that's cool. It says here you could power a lamp with it. We could call it the Spud lamp or something. What do you think? Dude, that sounds way too hard. You know I suck at science. Shut up, you do not, said Augie. Yeah, I do. I got a 54 on my last test. I suck at science. No, you don't. And that was only because we were still fighting and I wasn't helping you. I can help you now. This is a good project, Jack. We've got to do it. Fine, whatever. Just then there was a knock on the door. A teenage girl with long, dark, wavy hair poked her head inside. She wasn't expecting to see me. Oh, hey, she said to both of us. Hey, Via, said August, looking back at his computer screen. Via, this is Jack. Jack, this is Via. Hey, I said, nodding hello. Hey, she said, looking at me carefully. I knew the second Augie said my name that he had told her about the stuff I had said about him. Could tell by the way she looked at me. In fact, the way she looked at me made me think she remembered me from that day years ago on Amesfort Avenue. Augie, I have a friend I want you to meet, okay? She said. He's coming over in a few minutes. Is he your new boyfriend? August teased. Via kicked the bottom of his chair. Just be nice, she said, and left the room. So, your sister hates me, right? I said. You told her about that Halloween incident? Yeah. Yeah, she hates me, or yeah, you told her about Halloween? Both. 2 minutes later, the sister came back with this guy named Justin. Seemed like a cool enough dude. Longish hair, little round glasses. He was carrying a big, long, shiny silver case that ended in a sharp point at one end. Justin, this is my little brother August, said Via. And that's Jack. Hey guys, said Justin, shaking our hands. Cool room. Are you Via's boyfriend? Augie asked mischievously, and his sister pulled his hat down in front of his face. What's in your case? I said. A machine gun. Ha, answered the boyfriend. That's funny. No, it's a fiddle. Justin's a fiddler, said Via. He's in a Zydeco band. What the heck is a Zydeco band? Said Augie, looking at me. It's a type of music, said Justin, like Creole music. What's Creole? I said. You should tell everyone that it's a machine gun, said Augie. Nobody would ever mess with you. I guess you're right, Justin said, nodding and tucking his hair behind his ears. Creole's the kind of music they play in Louisiana, he said to me. Are you from Louisiana? I asked. No, I'm from Brooklyn. I don't know why this made me want to laugh. Come on, Justin, said Via, pulling him by the hand. Let's go hang out in my room. Okay, see you guys later, he said. Bye. And as soon as they left the room, Augie looked at me smiling. I'm from Brooklyn, I said, and we both started laughing hysterically. We're going to have a short one called Justin. Hear a little bit of his perspective. The first time I meet Olivia's little brother, I have to admit, I'm totally taken out by surprise. I shouldn't be, of course. Olivia's told me about his syndrome, has even described what he looks like, but she's also talked about all his surgeries over the years, so I guess I assumed he'd be more normal looking by now. Like when a kid is born with a cleft lip and has plastic surgery to fix it. I guess I thought her brother would have some scars here and there, but not like this. I definitely wasn't expecting to see this little kid in a baseball cap who's sitting in front of me right now. Actually, there were two kids sitting in front of me. One is a totally normal-looking kid with curly blonde hair named Jack. The other is Augie. I like to think I'm able to hide my surprise. I hope I do. Surprise is one of those emotions that can be hard to fake. Whether you're trying to look surprised when you're not, or you're trying to not look surprised when you are. I shook his hand. I shook the other kid's hand. I didn't want to focus on Augie's face, so I told him he had a cool room. He asked me if I was Via's boyfriend, and Olivia pushes down his hat. Is that a machine gun, the blonde kid asks. Like I haven't heard that one before. And we talk about Zydeco for a bit. And then Via's taking my hand and leading me out of the room. As soon as we close the door behind us, we hear the boys laughing. I'm from Brooklyn, one of them sings. Olivia rolls her eyes as she smiles. Let's go hang out in my room. We've been dating for 2 months now. I knew from the moment I saw her, the minute she sat down at our table, that I liked her. I think she gives off this vibe without even meaning to. She kind of gives a vibe of stay back. Don't come near me, but you want to come near her. I just kept looking her right in the eye whenever I would talk to her, trying to kind of dare her and kind of saying like, hey, I want to hang out with you. And finally asked her out, and she said yes, which rocked. She's an awesome girl, and I love hanging out with her. She didn't tell me about August until our third date. I think she used the phrase a craniofacial abnormality to describe his face. Or maybe it was craniofacial anomaly. I know the word she didn't use was deformed, because that word would have registered with me. So what did you think? She asked me nervously the second we were inside her room. Are you shocked? No, I lie. She smiles and looks away. You're shocked. I'm not, I assure her. He's just like what you said he'd be. She nods and plops down on her bed. She has a lot of stuffed animals. She takes a polar bear and sits it on her lap. I sit down on the rolling chair by her desk. When I was little, she said, there are lots of kids who never came back for a second play date. I mean, lots of kids. I even had a friend who wouldn't come to my birthday parties because Augie would be there. They never actually told me. It would just get back to me. Some people just don't know how to deal with Augie, you know? I nod. It's not even like they know they're being mean, she adds. They were just scared. I mean, let's face it, his face is a little scary, right? I guess, I answer. But you're okay with it, she asks me sweetly? You're not too freaked out or scared? I'm not freaked out or scared. She nods and looks down at the polar bear on her lap. I can't tell whether she believes me or not, but she hugs the polar bear tight. and tosses it to me with a little smile. I think that means she believes me, or at least she really wants to. I gave Olivia a heart necklace for Valentine's Day, and she gave me a messenger bag she made out of floppy disks. It was very cool. She makes things like that: earrings out of circuit boards, dresses out of t-shirts, bags of out of old jeans. She's so creative. I told her she should be an artist someday, but she wants to be a scientist. A geneticist, of all things. She wants to find cures for people like her brother, I guess. We made plans for me to finally meet her parents at a Mexican restaurant near her house on Saturday night. All day long I'm nervous about it, and when I get nervous, I have this thing called a tic that it comes out. I mean, my tics are always there, like they used to be when I was little. Nothing serious, but sometimes I blink too much, or occasionally my head will jerk. But when I'm stressed, they get worse, and I'm definitely stressing out about meeting her folks. They're waiting inside when I get to the restaurant. The dad gets up and shakes my hand, and the mom gives me a hug. I give Augie a hello fist punch and give Olivia a quick hug before I sit down. It's so nice to meet you, Justin. We've heard so much about you. Her parents couldn't be nicer. Put me at ease right away. The waiter brings over menus, and I notice his expression the moment he lays eyes on August. But I pretend not to notice. I guess we're all pretending not to notice things tonight. The waiter, my tics, the way August crushes the tortilla chips on the table and spoons the crumbs into his mouth. I look at Olivia and she smiles. She knows. She sees the waiter's face. She sees my tics. Olivia is the girl who sees everything. We spend the entire dinner talking and laughing. Olivia's parents ask me about my music, how I got into the fiddle and stuff like that. I tell them how I used to play the classical violin, but I got into Appalachian folk music and then Zydeco. And they're listening to every word like they're really interested. They tell me to let them know when the next time my band's playing a gig so they can come listen. I'm not used to all the attention, to be truthful. My parents don't have a clue about what I want to do with my life. They never ask. We never talk like this. I don't think they even know I traded my violin for a fiddle 2 years ago. After dinner, we go back to Olivia's for some ice cream, and the dog greets us at the door. It's an old dog, super sweet. She had thrown up all over the hallway, though. Olivia's mom rushed to get paper towels while her dad picks up the dog like she's a baby. "What's up, old girlie?" he says, and the dog's in heaven, tongue hanging out. "Dad, tell Justin how you got Daisy," says Olivia. "Yeah," says Augie. The dad smiles and sits down in the chair with the dog still cradled in his arms. It's obvious he's told this story a lot of times and they love to hear it. "So I'm coming home from the subway one day," he says, "and a homeless guy I've never seen before in this neighborhood is pushing this floppy mutt in a stroller. He comes up to me and says, 'Hey, mister, want to buy a dog?' And without even thinking about it, I say, 'Sure, how much you want?' And he says, $10. So I give him $20 I have in my wallet, and he hands me the dog. Justin, I'm telling you, you have never smelt something so bad in your life. She stank so much I can't even tell you. So I took her right from there to the vet down the street, and then I brought her home. Didn't even call first, by the way," the mom interjects as she cleans the floor, "to see if I'm okay with bringing the dog home from some homeless guy's dog just to our house." The dog actually looks over at the mom when she says this, like she understands everything everyone is saying about her. She's a happy dog. Like she knows she lucked out that day finding this family. I kind of know how she feels. I like Olivia's family. They laugh a lot. My family's not like that at all. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 4, and they pretty much hate each other. I grew up spending half of my week in Dad's apartment and the other half in my mom's place. I have a half-brother who's 5 years older than me and barely knows I exist. For as long as I can remember, I felt like my parents could hardly wait for me to be old enough to take care of myself. You can go to the store by yourself. Here's a key to the apartment. It's funny, there's a word for overprotective to describe some parents, but there's no word that means the opposite. What word do you use to describe parents who don't protect enough? Underprotective, neglectful, self-involved, lame, all of the above? Olivia's family tells each other I love you all the time. I can't remember the last time anyone in my family said that to me. And by the time I get home, all my tics have totally stopped. We're doing the play Our Town for the spring show this year. Olivia dares me to try out for the lead role, the stage manager, and somehow I get it. Total fluke. Never got any lead roles in anything before. I tell Olivia she brings me good luck. Unfortunately, she doesn't get the female lead, Emily Gibbs. The pink-haired girl named Miranda gets it. Olivia gets some small part and is also the Emily understudy. I'm actually more disappointed than Olivia is. She almost seems relieved. I don't love people staring at me, she says, which is sort of strange coming from someone so pretty. Part of me thinks she maybe blew her audition on purpose. The spring show is at the end of April. It's mid-March now, so that's less than 6 weeks to memorize my part, plus rehearsal time, plus practicing with my band, plus finals, plus spending time with Olivia. It's going to be a rough 6 weeks, that's for sure. Mr. Davenport, the drama teacher, is already manic about the whole thing. He'll drive us crazy by the time it's over, no doubt. I heard through the grapevine that he had been planning on doing The Elephant Man, which is this play about a person with a deformed face, but changed it to Our Town at the last minute. And that change took a week off of the rehearsal schedule. Not looking forward to the craziness of the next month and a half.